Okebo, Okumajaga, Tifamo Dundap, Moses, Lord Mayor, EYUMOJOCK, Ajo, Evan Kazenene. Kan vayina me polibate go sengembu yako ya mekeblika ekuvya kan vayina me polibate go sengembu yako ya mekeblika yena nano kuyankan areze je me pona kekele nyame Sengambu yako ya mekeblika arete je menfona kekele nyame go sengambu yako ya mekeblika ai akaranga bi mena moto kare nyame akaranga bi mengbanju kare nyame akaranga bi mena ku kare nyame akaranga bi mena ku kare nyame nyino Ekubanka, nyiname, beno jika. Nebu nyinama bogoteme, akone banke tie, ngajare kobo, ya bate kanjam yaga yaga yaga. Nebu nyinama bogoteme, akone banke tie, ngajare kobo. Ya bate kanjam yaga yaga nyeno 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 be nyeno 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 be nyeno 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 be nyeno bonchame nyeno be
There are many shades. All of you, well, the way you have said it, is in the sort of conjugation or language or descriptive aspect. Descriptive aspect. But a noun, one in Ejagham, the central Ejagham is njet. Can we say it? Njet. Two is ebe. And so you hear it is very, it's very, how can I say it? To write every, only the English, this thing, it's a very difficult thing. And so we'll see it. Don't write, I have the distance. I would prefer to give it out. Let's be following it together. Pastor, yes, we have written it in ways of because remember the people who follow it should see the word. Njet. Two is ebe. Can we pronounce it? Ebe. Three is esa. It's not, you see, it's essa, not essa, essa. You see. Then 4 is ND. 5 is okay. Now remove the eyes from here. Let's see it. Let's go together. Nje, ebe, essa, ND, elo. Show your fingers. Yes, thank you. Can we take it again? Njet, bebe, besa. in front. Now, there is the noun and then there's the descriptive aspect. When somebody asks a question, or when you are counting, you say inject, you seem to say baby, that is making it now plural. But I will dispense most of that. Let us go to the typical noun. Inject. Again. Please remove those things. We have this. Let I want to hear the pronunciation. Ebe. Esa. Eli. Elo. Who can say Elo? Try it.
Inject, Ebi, Ese, Eli, Elo.
Good. Go into.
Inject, Ebi, Ese, Eli, Elo.
Yes, what you want?
Inject,
Start again.
inject,
Inject.
inject,
Inject.
inject, Ebi,
Ebe.
Ebe, Ese, Eli, Elo.
Hello. Good. You too.
Inject, Ebi, Ese,
Yes, sir.
Eli, Elo.
Good.
Inject,
Put it down. I want to hear the pronunciation. Put.
inject,
Yes.
Ebe, Esa, Eni, Elo.
Hello. Good. You hold on. We're going to move from there to 10. These are basics and these are capital in the counting process because the rest of the other depends on this first 10. So a sakasa is 6. 6 is what? A sakasa. Can we say it? A sakasa. A nekesa. Enekani, Eloni, Bofo. I permit you to read on the paper as you are saying it, so that you get it both in the ears and the eyes. When we get something from these two, from these two forms, instruments, it enters in the penetrates better. So I'm going to say it and look it in your book. Look at it cleanly. You can read it at pen and be following. So you get it by visual sight and also from the ear. A sakasa, a nekesa, a nekani, a loni, bofo. Again I say, a nekesa. Please look at your copies. I want you to get the spelling. A sakasa, a nekesa, a nekani, a loni, bofo. Now we say it together from 6. A sakasa. Again. Continue. Again. Continue. Again. Continue. Again. Continue. Again. Good. A sakasa together. Continue. A nekesa. A nekani. A loni. Bofo. Now, a keba fan from jet. What is it? Bofo. Unayoka. Unayoka means what? Have you people heard me? When you people. Ayo. Head. Ka. Me. Unayoka. When by your car. Good. A keba fan. They all can jet. That is it. Bofo. This is it. Prochi. Njet.
Esa, Eni, Elo, Isakasa, Enikasa,
yourselves. These fundamentals you should not forget. Now, let's do it a second time. Njet. No, say it. Njet. Continue. Yes. Yes. Enetani. Ofo. Good. Now we're going to move on from 11 to 15. In this, the formula is like 10 and the one that follows. 12 is 10 and what? 10 and 2 also. It's like saying 10 and 1, 10 and 2, 10 and 3, 10 and 4. The only 15 has its own name. Do we see that? So 11 is what? Bofo ya nje. Hello? Bofo ya. Ya in Central Ghana means Yeba will say na. Actually, you're man. So I don't want us to come to that because so you will see, you will get to all of that. Can we say again together? Bofo ya nje. Bofo ya ebe. Bofo ya ese. Bofo ya eni. Eku. So 16 is what? Ekuya njet, ekuya ebe, ekuya ese, ekuya eni, esam. Let them try to read and after I said it, we didn't say it. What did I say? We didn't say it. I said it. Yami, Omni, Yami, Ekiruate. You and I, me, is you. Me, Apo, you see that's the conjugation we'll get to when the time comes from. The which we should start knowing as time goes on. Any question? Or any comments? Yes, look at it. 3 and 3. Okay. 4 and 3. 4 and 4. Okay, thank you. That's more complex. Thank you.
I think we should film this thing since the moves and film it. That's today's lesson, so you can go online.
And then we correct you. Yes, we make what they like not so try to water. Okay, it's pronounced this other way. Don't reject it as wrong. I never rejected it as wrong.
Yes.
Hello.
Any.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
Sakasa.
Yes.
Negasa. Narani. Eloani. Bofo.
You now count from 1 to 15. From 11 to 15. And you be ready.
Bofo ya nye.
You be ready from 16.
Bofo ebe.
Yes.
Bofo ese. Bofo eni. Eku.
So, from 16 to 20.
Ekuya nje.
Good.
Ekuya ebe.
Wonderful.
Ekuya ese. Ekuya eni. Ekuya elo.
Esa. Good. Who else can come? You try. Anyhow you want to. From where do you want to take? Take from 10 to 20. Put it down. Let's get.
Bofo and jet.
Yes.
Bofo and ebe.
Ebe.
Bofo and esa. Bofo and eni. Bofo and jet.
Look at it. Eku. You continue.
Ekuya jet.
Yes.
Ekuya ebe.
Yes.
Ekuya eni.
Esa.
Ekuya ese. Ekuya
Ekuya.
Ekuya eni. Esa.
Esa. Can we clap that? You count from 1 to 5. Yes. 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 Hello. You see that? In some, it is no more bofo yanjet from a sam, the vocabulary changes. In fam, a sam, yet, we see it. A sam jam, ebe, a sam jam, essa, a sam jam, eni, a sam jam, elo, a sam jam, a sakasa, a sam jam, a mikasa, a sam jam, bofo. We see that. Let's read it together. Go from 21. Go. Let's continue. 31. Okay. Example 31, I don't put it. Example, Bofoya, Njet. I made an example, I made a version. Example, Bofoya. Then 34 is what? In me. Then 35 is? Example, a coup. You see that? From a sum, you put in gem, then you start as from 1 to 15. They start as from 1 to 15. A sample, near, sample, ebe, and so on. A sample, bofo, ya, eni. Then a sample, a coup. A sample, a coup, ya, jet. A sample, a coup, ya, ebe. A sample, a coup, ya, esa. A sample, a coup, is what? A sample, a sample, a coup, eni, is what? Please. The sample of PME is what? 39. Then 40 becomes Nsam, Ebe. We see that it's a multiple of a sum. So, if I ask you to count in tens, from 10 to 100, how will you do it? You can do it. Just 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Who can do it? What's her name? Marriott. You are? Marinette. Marinette. Try it. No, it's okay. Try it. Intense. Huh? Yes, 100. People listen, eh? Yes. You go to 70 now. Good. Yes. Okay, then Semelo O Efa. If you have noticed, the capital figures range from 1 to 10 somehow, and from 10 to 20. After 20, it is just additions. Additions. That's a principle of counting in Ejagham. If you know how to count from 1 to 20, then you can count the rest. If I ask us, are you with us or you are in the class? Give me 37. How will you call 37 in Ejagham? How would you call 37 in Ejagham? What's her name? Okay. We'll come to continue after. But maybe you will the same. How will you count 37 in Ejagham? How will you do it? This is what has surprised me. To see the mostly ignorant, but 37 in the Ejagham. Will you try again? Yes. 17 is what? Isam jadi Now, give us 57. 57. Can you try? Who can try? 57.
It's important to give a hint to understand that the principle is addition. That is 20 plus 15 plus 2.
That's what I'm explaining.
Yeah. Okay, from the text, you can see that.
It's about this. Now I give the time to do research, to do application. You want to explain it. 57 is Nsambebe, Unjembeku, Yebe. Do we see that? Hello? 57. And that same principle applies to any number. You feel about take a number and divide the 20s and see how many 20s go inside. And see if there's a 15. And then any other thing. Do we see that? What would 87 be? Or 77? 77 would be what? How many times 20 goes into 77? It's 3 times now. Because 4 times will already be 80. So in Samesa, what's the balance? There's a 15 also, there's a 2. And what again? Maybe. That's the principle. Any question? If not, I think we are done. Yes. Njali means it's another word of adding. Or behind that number. Njali actually means behind. Behind, yes, that's on the back. At the back of, behind, after, yes. Move is in front, then after, behind 10, then you have maybe 7. You will see that. And in case of 17, you will not be Bofo here. You will be a coup. Yeah, before 20, we don't use Ijam. Before 20, we use Ya, which is plus. After 20, we put Njam, which is behind. Which is behind. That's behind after 15 and 2. Esam, njeme ku, yede. So it's a principle we need to master. When we master that principle, counting in Ejagham becomes simple. I want to say that it's one of the most tricky things, even to adults, to count in Ejagham, to give a figure in Ejagham, because this principle has not been put down, has not been mastered. The one who mastered this principle is just a kind of reasoning and doing some small mathematics in a language you know more, English, and then you apply it. So thank you for your question. Any other question or any observation? As we round up with this lesson.
Better that you go understand. Under the white man's method, where the tissue number, where the tissue apply. You have to be one. You don't know. Now. So you are only thinking as the right hand. Exactly. You need to do addition. You only start that. That's why I said started from 6. You say start at 6. You already added the number.
Okay, I'm done with today. I want to ask, which day is more convenient for you people? Because I think we should have one lesson per week, not to make it come.
Thank you very much. Thank you all very much. The time will come, the vision of the time will come when we will need the support. For now, I think that I want to create, okay, the chief of cable is giving us support of 20,000. So on the spot we have 100,000. And I think that if you permit me, I would not like the chiefs to manage any money that's given for this project, because we may drink whiskey. Chiefs don't have long time, so they try to eat as much as. I like to, in the presence of everyone, hand this money to the local coordinator, who will report to us, to me, how the money is used. And we expect that that money should be put only for the purpose of this training. I recognize that today he printed some material. He must have spent some money. I recognize that he paid taxi. I had told him that for now he will be doing voluntary work. He himself is an eminent Ejagham son, and he agreed. But I told him that I know that with time there will be support coming in, and I must tell you from now that the vision we have is a large one, and at a certain point it will entail some finances. We'll make appeals to ourselves, to those like our mayor, like the parliamentarian, but we may get to a time when we need subscriptions. So if we say that every parent who is registering a child should subscribe maybe 1,000 a month for the child to learn Ejagham, that should be good enough. And if we have 1,000 children, that should produce us 1 million. And then we can use it to print books, to support the printing of books, to do all kinds of things that we need to do. But that will only come a long, long time from now. I want this thing, if I had my way, it would be free forever. Because the whole idea is for people to learn the language and to become the Ejagham gentlemen and ladies that we want to produce. So we thank all of you who have decided to support this action. We would hand the money to the coordinator, and it is public money. Pastor, come and take. It's public money, it's 100,000. Know that the public money you always have to account for. And so you would take it, you would print materials, you would Yes, you print, you. Yeah? Yes. So this is, I'm handing the money to you, and you would use it, if it's only for doing things like this, to prepare the lessons. I know that this one will take us a long time. So just try to use it as much as possible. Any funds that, and then keep a record of the funds that are coming in. Any money that comes in, you would manage it and use it so that this thing is sustainable. And we will not leave you alone. We will keep supporting you. And when the time comes, you will hear from us. We will appeal to all kinds of people. We think support will come. I didn't expect this. I didn't expect this to be. I'm very surprised. And we thank you very much for the support.
Thank you also very much. We'll use it as designed.
And we thank you for the first lesson that you have given. I think those of us who are here are satisfied that if you continue this way, it will not take the children long to be able to start speaking Ejagham. I'm giving you up to 1 year. I want to speak to this child in Ejagham in 1 year time when we come here. I will converse.
It will happen.
By the time in 6 months, all the talking here should be Ejagham. By the time in 6 months, Pastor, we are 23rd of, and we have a record, 23rd of May. So then in 6 months, we want all the talking here to be Ejagham. So we thank everyone for coming. We thank God who gave us this initiative. We thank Him who brought those who came from far here. And we thank everyone, all of those who saw the vision and jumped at it, like the 3 people who came right from Yaoundé. The mayor, when I talked to him, he happened to have been in LIMBE. He said, Chief, even if I was in the EYUMOJOCK, you could have been surprised. I'll tell you that I'm coming. It means that wherever he was, he looked at this thing as a very good thing. And we thank all of you very much.
Program is, I wouldn't say a new thought, but it's something that has just come up recently, even though it has been at the background for long. And as the coordinator, I'm going to work with a lot of resource persons to not only put in place that which has already been put in place. We have about 9 lessons. We have lesson 1 today, and we're going to continue each week, not necessarily completing 1 lesson, because there will be a lot of revisions. So I'm going to get resources from all those I can get in contact with to, first of all, furnish myself with all that which is needful for the lessons to be given out to the participants. And I'm going to involve other persons even in the teaching process. And so we're going to have weekly meetings with the teachers so that whoever is coming to teach will be coming to teach what we have in mind according to the methodology that has been put in place. We take into consideration too that we have learners who are coming from various educational levels, and so you have to do something uniform that will enable the learners to be able to be practical, to be able to get to speak the language in their homes and with other Ejagham people wherever they meet, as they progress step by step in the things that go along with the practical aspect of the language.
Any special message to the parents?
Yes, the special message to the parents is that if the parents themselves are not conversant with the Ejagham language, it will be good they get conversant, because it does not start and end in the classroom, but it continues at home and even out of home. So that if the parents themselves don't learn the language, it will be difficult for it to be practiced at home. But the parents have to take the initiative to make it such that, even as in my home many years back, it was that we even had a day where the whole day we spoke by the language. And even in the morning when the children get up, greetings are in the language. And so the parents must store up the speaking aspect in the language. I mean, at home, so that the children get used to it, because language is a matter of putting into practice what you have learned.
I'm EJAGHAM, I'm the traditional ruler of Kok in the EYUMOJOCK subdivision. I caught the train in motion, but I love the initiative of Chief from there, who is the progenitor of this program. I enjoyed the discussions, and the first lesson, the interactive first lesson, was really good. But I couldn't fail to see the nuances in the teaching of the kind of Ejagham that we have today. I would have loved that we have an incremental knowledge of the teaching of Ejagham, because it has started. If you look at what happened today, you will correctly tell me the teaching of Ejagham as spoken in Cameroon. Because it will go completely, flies against all the earlier efforts of Ejagham, Ejagham, the translation of the Bible and all that. You know, we should have continued from there and bring in the nuances of the various Ejagham spoken in Central Ejagham of Cameroon, the urban of Cameroon and all that. But if we come today to start that we are learning Ejagham, and we start learning Ejagham as spoken in Cameroon to be the Ejagham of the Ejagham nation, there's some little confusion. But the effort is really praiseworthy.
Michael, I'm the Chief Bayan Tabe Michael, the chief of a BAM village in the EYUMOJOCK subdivision. I am greatly happy with what has happened here today. Some of us are so aged, we are just going. And that you are going when your own language cannot be heard anywhere. So that this initiative has come up, it's a very big relief to me. If after a short time away, I go away, I know that there are young people who are holding the fort and things will go on and improve in EYUMOJOCK.
I am Dr. Besong Tui Obok from Ewele, and I want to thank the organizers, the EYUMOJOCK Traditional Rulers Association, for taking this initiative to introduce our children by teaching them, introduce our children to our culture, because language is an important aspect of our culture. And so teaching our children Ejagham language is ensuring that our culture goes ahead. It's ensuring that the generations that come after us and even after them will be identified as Ejagham people. And so my impressions are very good. I was very excited when Chief Benefonde called me. I was in Yaoundé, and I said I would try our endeavor to be here. And this inaugural class, I think, was very useful. We only hope that the instructors who have been identified, they will give their all to it, and other Ejagham children throughout the globe will take advantage. I say throughout the globe because with the ITC facilities that we have today, this class series could be accessed from any part of the world as long as you are hooked up to the internet. And so we believe that this is not the first attempt that teaching Ejagham has been tried. We hope that this time, with the facilities that are available, we should get our children to know their language. You go around the world, no matter where Chinese people are, no matter where Japanese people are, they still are attached to their culture. They speak their language irrespective of the level of education. But we have thought that maybe having education means forgetting where you come from. That has been a fatal mistake, and I think this is an opportunity towards trying to correct that. I think, like I said earlier, it is trying to tell us who we are. And so there is nothing wrong in knowing who you are. So I encourage every parent to send those, irrespective of where you are, like I said earlier, you can access these classes on YouTube, on Facebook, online, and your children will identify themselves. We may think that the problem is only for the people who are far away from us here. But like I said during this inaugural class, even children living in the village no longer can speak the language. They speak pidgin English. And so it is a fatality. Some people will say, no, it's not. But if we let it go like that, it will become to that. So we must ensure that our children learn the language. I have 4 kids. Unfortunately, they don't speak the language, but I think this is a wake-up call for all of us to let our children speak the language and know it. Somebody will say that, what use is it? Well, it has its use. It's an identity. If you don't know who you are, no matter what you do, there will always be something lacking in you. So we must identify ourselves. We come from somewhere, and this is Ejagham is where we come from. The language, like I said, is one of those aspects. Our dressing is also another aspect. Our food is also another aspect. So today people eat eru all over the place, but it comes from Manu, because we Ejagham people cannot hold on to it and say it only comes from Ejagham, but it comes from. So that is one thing. So this language is one of the things that belongs to the Ejagham people alone, and it's only us Ejagham people who can protect and support it and ensure that it doesn't get extinct.
Moses Obeno Fonde, Chief of Bajo. I happen to be the president of EYUMOJOCK's Chiefs Association. After General Tato, I was asked to take over, and I have become the president since December.
With this initiative you just came out with, how did it all come about? Can you just give us a brief history?
I must tell you that it came from within. We have all these children abroad, we have nephews and nieces, and sometimes you want to talk to them and you just cannot talk. You talk in the dialect and they don't understand. And so you start finding the difficulty. When they are around with you, you can talk one-on-one in Pidgin and in English and sometimes in Ejagham, and they understand, and you do not take note. But now when you have to discuss something, for instance, a marriage or something which you think that the next door person should not hear, and you start talking in Ejagham and someone is not understanding, then it downs on you. That is a problem. And now when I made the inquiries, I found that so many homes of Ejagham people, particularly those of mixed marriages, their children don't speak Ejagham. And worst of all, I found people who have man and wife of Ejagham origin and the children don't speak Ejagham, so I knew that there was a problem. And I thought that it was the best thing if we are chiefs whose business is to preserve the culture. The first element of culture is the language. That's why it occurred to me that we should make an effort, even though it's small. But since we started with God, we're expecting that this small effort would yield fruits 10,000 times.
A common man will not understand the difference between an Ejagham man and a Bayangi man or a EYUMOJOCK man. Make that difference for us.
Well, the difference is we are two people, we are brothers, but we are two different personalities. One, I think most of them came from the same source. I was reading only not long ago when someone tried to say that most of the Manu tribes immigrated from Nigeria. The Ejagham people through the road, through the borders with the Cock, and the Bayangi people through the Cross River. I read this on someone you pay research and wrote this. So essentially we are the same people. The proof is that we have the same names, we have the same cultures, we have the same dances, we have the same expressions, but we are two different personalities because our dialects, our languages differ, and to a large extent, because there are very few common words between Bayangi and Ejagham. But to most of us now, that difference is not apparent because we know the two languages. So the difference is not very apparent, but there's a difference. Yet we are brothers from the same stock. How we became different, I don't know, they were different. So asking me to explain the difference, I do not know how to explain. I think the difference will only be in the language, because we dress the same, we have the same behaviors, we have the same dances, our expressions are the same, but the difference is only in the language.
To someone watching this program presently online, what will you say to encourage them to watch? What are they going to benefit from watching this program?
Well, this program is meant first essentially for Ejagham children, because we expect them to be able to understand and speak Ejagham. They are the first people the program is addressed to. Now we have our Bayangi brothers who may also be interested. Many of them have Ejagham wives. Okay. So many of them have Ejagham wives. They may be
because the Ejagham wives are very beautiful.
Well, you heard me say in the hall that an Ejagham person is a gentleman, and not only are the women beautiful. I don't want to say that they are more beautiful than anybody, but the Bayangi women too are very beautiful. As I said, we are the same people, brothers and sisters. So the Ejagham women are beautiful, the Ejagham wives are beautiful, the Bayangi women are beautiful. So we see ourselves as the same persons. That's why intermarriage is so rife. There are so many people of Manustalk, one marrying Ejagham and the other marrying Bayangi. The intermarriages are many, and it's not because the Ejagham girls are more beautiful. It's just because fate has it that when you meet this one first, you marry. And when you marry one, you keep that one. You don't go looking for the rest of all them.
Special message to parents of Ejagham children out there.
This is an effort which we have started. The inspiration came from the negative experience, from the negative experience which we observed, and we are making a frantic effort to correct. I am therefore calling on all Ejagham children, and by children I mean all Ejagham people, children and adults alike, including parents who know the dialect or the language and know that their children do not know. I'm calling on all of them to follow that link. Follow the link. If you cannot be in the classroom in Trinity Hotel, follow the link. You get the same thing, and you will be able to learn the language. The language is the first identity. As I said, as chiefs, our first role is to preserve culture. And culture starts with the language. And so I am calling on all Ejagham people, adults and youths, all Ejagham friends, and all Ejagham sympathizers, all our in-laws. We have so many in-laws. You will say that women are beautiful, but I don't refuse. I'm only saying that they are beautiful, but they are not more beautiful than others. They are beautiful. So we're calling on all our in-laws, because we have so many of them. Take advantage of this and learn Ejagham. I'll tell you how my own wife learned Ejagham. She learned Ejagham because when she just married me, she discovered that I was joining with other people to gossip her. And so when she discovered that, when I sit and I'm talking with other people, sometimes we're talking about her, she decided that no, she would learn that Ejagham. Before I discovered, she said to me that, but the other day you posted there, you were saying that this. I was shocked. Then the next time my relatives came and they started talking, I said, no, stop, she's hearing. So I'm addressing this to our in-laws. Please don't always feel that when we are talking against you or about you. The way for you to feel comfortable, take advantage of this instrument and learn our language. So when we are talking, you will not think that we are talking against you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
We started this initiative and we put it in God's hands. It may have started small, but I know that since we have put it in God's hands, it will thrive. Because everything that God puts his hand in works. And so we are praying that because we invoked his presence, he will not leave us. He will make this initiative succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bienvenue. Okebo. Ejagham. Tu fais mon dundap. Moses. Lord Mayor, EYUMOJOCK. Ajob. Even Kazenene. Ekubya kan bayina me polibate. Kosenembya koya me keblika. Ekubya kan bayina me polibate. Kosenembya koya me keblika. Yena no. Kubya kan. Arrête me fona kekele nyame. Kosenembya koya me keblika. Arrête me fona kekele nyame. Kosenembya koya me keblika. Ay! Akaranga bi me na moto kare nyame. Akaranga bi me ngbanju kare nyame. Akaranga bi me na ku kare nyame. Akaranga bi me na ku kare nyame. Nyeno nyeno nyena no be. Nyeno nyeno nyena no be. Nyeno nyeno nyena no be. Nyeno bonchame nyena no be. Nyena me polibate anombame. Nyena me polibate anombame. Nyena me polibate anombame. Nyena me polibate anombame. Ekubenka nyena me.